Welcome to Revit 2019 Demo 7. We're going to select our last project, Demo 6, to continue forward. This lecture's on section views in Revit. You can easily create section views in Revit. The views are tied to the building model, so if the building model changes, the section will change along with it. So we're going to go to Floor Plan Level 1. First, let's put a couple of cars in the garage. So we're going to go to Architecture Component, Place a Component. We're going to load Family. We're going to go up to the main Imperial Library and hit Entourage. We're going to pick the RPC Beetle and we're going to open it. Don't pick the semi-truck, it won't fit in the garage. So we're going to come in and place two Volkswagens in the garage. You can align the Volkswagens to the center of the garage doors using the Modify tab. So we're going to go to Modify. We're going to hit Align, which is this guy up here. It's also AL for the shortcut, aligns one or more elements with a selected element. You can lock the alignment to make sure that the other model changes do not affect it. So we're going to hit Align. We're going to select our target, which is the Beetle. And actually, I apologize. We're going to hit Escape twice. We're going to re-select Align. We're going to select the target, which is our garage door. And then we're going to select the source, which is the Beetle. And now they're aligned. I kind of already guidelined them out, but if you did not when you placed them, that's how you're going to align them. So you can hit Escape twice. We're going to create a building section. So you're going to go to View, Section, and hit look under Properties and notice that we're under Building Section. You can look that there's also a wall section and a detail section as well, but we only want to focus on the building section for right now. So you're going to use the Pin tool, which is actually just the crosshairs now. They've changed it. It used to be a Pin tool. And you're going to place a section view. You're going to drag the section horizontally through the garage as if you were cutting the VWs in half. So we're going to cut it through here. The blue arrows flip the view direction. So if you flip it this way or that way, you can flip the direction. And then you can click in the white area to end the command. You just created section 1. Now go to Sections in the project browser, hit the plus sign, double click Section, and you can see section 1. The display level set to coarse. If you apply it to medium, you get a little bit more detail. You can see the structure of the roof and the walls. We're going to change the crop region, which is this box out here, so that it does not show just the garage. So what we can do is we can actually hide this in the view as an element, which we're not going to do quite yet. We're going to kind of adjust our crop range so we can actually drag this crop range like so. And then we want to adjust it so the crop view doesn't show. So we can actually hit this checkbox to make sure that that's not visible and it goes away. So now you just have that. One thing that's important is when you go into level 1 and you select on this blue diagram is your crop region box, this blue dashed line. So you can actually drag your section back for the crop region, double click the arrowhead, and you'll notice you're seeing less information. You want to right click and go to view from the section line, so you can go to level 1, right click this and go to view, and it'll take you to the view. The following steps will keep the project browser clean and easy to track views. In the building section view, which we're in right now, we want to go to Properties. Under Identity Data, right here, we want to go to Title on Sheet. We want to name it Section through Garage. This changes the title without renaming the view in the browser. So we're going to hit Apply. And you'll notice, oh, I mistyped it. Let me type it again. Section through Garage. Apply. I'm not quite sure why that's not happening. Section through garage. Enter. Apply. Okay, there we go. I hit enter rather than apply that time. Now if I go back to level 1 or section 1, the title on the sheet is section through garage. So I want to actually place this on a sheet. So we're going to make a new sheet for the building section. So we're going to right click, create new sheet. We're going to set the sheet as A600. So we can come down here to say A600. And we're going to set this value to building sections. Once building sections is applied, we're going to place section 1 onto the building section sheet, and you'll notice that the title of the view is section through garage. It didn't update the section here, but it did update the title on the sheet. So that's important. They're linked. So the sectional view is on the building section of A600. We actually want this to be A601 because it's the first sheet in the series. So A601. And then we're going to continue forward. So show how to activate the view and change the scale on the sheet. So we can actually adjust the scale by selecting the view, activating the view, and adjusting the scale from 3/16 to 1/4 inch. And notice it updates the view here. We can deactivate the view, and it updates the view here. So you want to turn off the crop box and the hide region icon. So that's what we adjusted here. So we turned off and made it not visible here. Another place that you can adjust this is down here. So you can show the crop region or not show it. Do not crop view or crop view. The importance of cropping the view is to ensure that your levels align to that crop view. So we're going to make a new sheet for wall sections now. So we're going to deactivate this view. We're going to go into sheets and create a new sheet. And it's going to be a D-size sheet again, as all of our sheets will be. And we're going to call this one A600, A602. And it automatically did that because it remembered the last number that I had named that sheet. So I can update the name of this sheet to say wall section. Wall sections. Enter. Now we want to create a wall section. So we're going to go to level 1 floor plan. So I'm going to scroll up, level 1 floor plan. And I want to go to view, section, properties, and I want to set this to a wall section. We're going to go through the small window we used for the plan region. So we're going to click and drag through the middle of that window, roughly the middle. We're going to adjust the section box to be about 2 feet deep. We're going to eyeball it. Note the project browser now has wall sections. So down below, you now went from a building section to a wall section. So it's section 2. The wall section has a different arrow. It's unfilled than the building section. If you left click on the wall section line, you can right click and go to view. You want to change the display level to medium. So we're going to adjust this to medium. You can do that up here as well. And we want to change the scale to a 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. So 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. Apply. You can do that down here as well. We want to turn off the crop region to hide it. And we want to create another wall section through the garage door. This will be section 3. But before we do that, we're going to go to sheet 602 and we're going to place the wall section on the sheet. We didn't name this section, and that's okay. We can name that later. But for now, we want to set the next section, the next wall section, on level 1. Notice that that wall section detail that we placed on the sheet is labeled 1A602. We're going to go into section, place a wall section, and we're going to place it through the center of the garage door. We're going to drag this back so that it's roughly to there. One thing to note is that you can change the head size on this side with this sort of synchronization looking button, cycle section head. So you can put the tail on the inside and the head on the outside. And we're going to change this scale to 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. Oops, not that scale. I apologize. This needs to be 1/8 inch. 1/4 inch, I apologize. We're leaving this at 1/4 inch. Actually, it was 3/16 of an inch. So we'll go back to 3/16 of an inch is equal to 1 foot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to A602 wall sections, and we're going to place section 3. We can align that however we want. This is the wall section that we want set to 1/2 inch. So I'm adjusting this. I double clicked it. I'm adjusting that to 1/2 inch. I'm going to right click and deactivate. I can also double click outside of the view. This line that's snapping here is snapping to the center point to align the views, even though they're at different scales. The Revit scale change selector at the bottom of the screen allows you to adjust the different views on the fly. So I can double click in, change the scale, change the quality to be medium so that I can see more detail, and double click out. So it's important to understand that these values adjust the scales of these views. And these are actually aligned. This is the front door. And I actually, if you notice, can't see this edge of this roof. So what I want to do is show the crop region to span the crop region just a hair out so that I can pick up for the roof and the gutter, and then hide the crop region. We're going to deactivate the view and do the same thing here. We're going to hide the crop region and then double click out to deactivate the view. We'll give them a little bit more space, and now you have section 2 and section 3. We turned off both crop boxes, and now we want to go back to floor plan 1. So we're going to go back up to level 1. Note that the building section tags are populated smartly with data pointing to the sheet that the view is on. Now erase the window that the section 2 passed through. Go back to the sheet A602. So we're going to go back to level 1. We're going to delete this window that's going through. And we're going to go to A602. And you'll notice that the wall is updated without the window. The window is completely gone. Once something is erased anywhere in the building model, it is completely erased in the entire database in every view. That would include door window schedules as well. Undo the deleted window, see it back in the section view. So I'm going to hit Control-Z, and now it's back in place. Now I may want to adjust the height of that though, because it appears that it may be cutting through this particular or conflicting with this particular shading. So we'll go ahead and set this head height to 8 feet. And now we've got a little bit of space. You've learned how to create building and wall sections, describe a view without changing the browser, and to change the scale of a drawing in the sheet. Go ahead and save this as revit2019demo7. So we're going to go File, Save As, Project, Revit Demo 7.